Hey everyone, welcome to the last market update of 2022. We are sitting here on December 6th, and I am so excited for this year to be over for many reasons, but it has been a wild ride within real estate. Are you with me? So we started out this year and we were still operating on rocket fuel that COVID started. So we're still seeing major increases, which came to a screeching halt in May and June when we saw the Fed start to take action against inflation and bring the federal funds rate up. Now that doesn't always correlate perfectly with mortgage rates, but in this case, the mortgage-backed securities are very concerned about inflation, and so they also responded to inflation by increasing mortgage rates. And this completely shut off buyers' demands. We saw interest rates go from around the 3 to 4% all the way up to almost over 7%. And now we're sitting right around the mid to low 6%, which is significantly better than 7%, but still hasn't had the effect to turn back on the housing market. So we're going to talk more about that later. Now, one of the things that the Fed's watching really closely is unemployment. Unemployment is so important because as we see unemployment start to rise, that's when we see people start backing off on spending, and that typically triggers us moving into a recession. When the Fed finally officially calls a recession is when we can expect to see some relief on mortgage rates, at least if historical trends stay true. We can start to see those dip down. We're going to see buyers get back into the market and start buying. So if you are a buyer, let me be loud and clear. When people say this is a good time to buy, there are several reasons why they're saying that. So interest rate is only one part of the equation for buying a home. There are so many other factors, and if you're ready to buy, now is a great time to buy. There's almost no competition. There's about 20,000 houses for sale, and you're going to be able to get the terms and conditions that you want to make for a successful sale. Now, you may have gotten this house for $100,000 over asking price at a 4% interest rate 6 to 7 months ago, but today you're going to get it for maybe 3 to 5% under ask price, and you're going to pay a 6 to 6.5% mortgage rate, and you're also going to be stuck with about the same payment. So it's 6 one way, half a dozen another. Every situation is super unique, but December is one of my favorite times for house buyers, especially in new constructions. There are a ton of new construction deals. As home builders, massive companies are set to close out their year. They're looking for ways to write off their losses from that year, and one of the ways they do that is by quick selling inventory and giving deep discounts. They're even offering significant incentives for you to buy down your interest rate. If you're interested in that, hit me up and we'll talk more about those homes that might work for you. Now, for the general housing population for resale, I think it's also a great time. Most of the sellers at this point have had their house on the market 45 days or longer. They're sick of showings. They're sick of waiting around. They want to get rid of this house, and it is a great time to make a deal. We've gotten several buyers under contract with amazing terms, and all of the repair requests agreed to without question. Let me tell you now, I can't promise that you're going to be able to refinance lower in the future, but the buying experience right now is incredibly beautiful. So if you are sitting on the fence, you're thinking about buying a home, now might be the time to jump in. If you're looking to do that, please hit me up. If you're a seller, look, you missed the boat. The peak was back in May. I hate to tell it to you that way, but it's true, and that's okay. The good news is that the sky is not falling. We are not in a real estate housing crash. We're simply in a modest price correction. Depending upon when you bought your house, if you bought your house more than 3 years ago, chances are you have built 60 to 70% equity over the last 3 years in your house. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think you can afford to give back a few percentage points and you're still going to be way ahead than you should be, given that the average historical appreciation rate is 3.8% a year. You guys, you're in good shape. Even if you bought your house since COVID, you're probably still doing really good on your house investment, and you're probably still up double digits on your purchase. The only people that get hurt in this type of market are people like me, investors, and people who flip houses and are required to sell them in a short amount of time. We bought high and now we are forced to sell low. Most people are not in this situation. Most people are in a situation where they have plenty of time to sell and plenty of options. Now, a lot of sellers are sitting on the fence because they're sitting on low interest rates. In fact, 92% of all of the homes owned in the US have under a 5% interest rate right now. So it's not looking super enticing to be able to give up that low interest rate in order to maybe move to a home that has a higher interest rate, but there are ways to do that that can make sense for you. And if moving is something that you need to do for your family, for your geography, for your job, we can still make that happen with ease. We just need to have the right strategy and plan in place. So let's chat about that. Now, if you're an investor like me, I'm still out there, and this is a primo time to be an investor. I don't think this market is going to be this cool for very long, but I don't have exactly a crystal ball. I think we have a very short window of time to be able to place our bets and make money on real estate investments. Now, it is trickier if you're financing investments because of the higher interest rates. It is difficult without putting a lot of money down to make your investment cash flow, but I would encourage you to consider that even if you are maybe just netting neutral, even slightly negative on your investment on a month-to-month basis, this is the only investment where 90% of the amount that you put into the property can be paid off by somebody else, and you can make appreciation on that money that you borrowed over time. It's crazy. Now, if you have cash that you're sitting on, I highly encourage you to consider deploying that into real estate right now. The rents are really strong, and you're not going to be faced with the higher interest rates, and you can still get great deals out there. If you're looking for any investments, I've got some great ideas, and there's also the option when you're looking at investments to do what's called a seller carryback. That's where the seller finances it. So if a property is owned outright by the owner and they do not have any financing on it, that is a great opportunity to see if they'd be interested in making a little cash flow by financing the deal themselves versus you going through a bank. I have access to a database of those deals, so if that interests you, be sure to hit me up as well. Look, I have been honored to be your real estate guide this year. This is my pride and joy, and I love being there for you in all of your milestones and helping you make some really big decisions that benefit the future of your family. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Links and information below. Have a great holiday season and Happy New Year, y'all.